Okay, so if we pull back, all right, we take this off, um, we can see that, you know what, that's looking pretty good. That doesn't look bad at all. In fact, if I look at this just real quickly, it's not terrible. But if I look at it closely, as you can see, you know what? Look at this. This is pretty sharp right here. This is pretty blurry back here, right? This flag is super sharp, right? We need to add some blur to here, okay? And especially with this whole thing sticking out and stuff, we need to have some blur to have this stand out. So I'm going to add blur here, which is up here under filters, okay? Now you need to add filters, and it could be a blur filter, it could be something else. Generally speaking, you want to add filters at the end because once you do this, at least the way I'm going to tell you to do it, by using smart filters, it's hard to edit them once you're into smart filters, which we will get into, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and make this a smart filter because I'm not going to edit this anymore. This is pretty happy. And what smart filters is going to allow me to do is to go back in and change the blur level whenever I want. If not, what's going to happen is going to be like the global adjustments, that it just changes and it's like that for good. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and convert to smart filters. It's going to be like, you want to come do this? I was like, yes, please. Thank you. So I'm in smart filters. I'm in smart filters because I can see there's this little box here. It's telling me it's a smart filter. Now what I can do is go to filter and I can add blur, and I'm going to use Gaussian blur here, right? I can move this over and I can see how much Gaussian blur I can want. And right there where I have kind of one looks pretty good there, right? I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. I'm going to zoom in because I should really be looking at this zoomed in. And that right there is already looking a little better because that's about the amount of blur that the background is, right? So that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good indeed. In fact, we could go ahead and change this to have this look kind of like it's behind it a little bit by moving the flag down, right? Got the move tool, I can move the flag down. And in fact, I can use the erase tool a little bit if I wanted to, just to make this look like, oh, you know what? I can't use the erase tool. Why? Because I have the smart filter on, right? So that's why I say it should be one of the last things you do when you want to make sure that everything's done with it. Because once you go in here and you try to erase it, it won't let you because it's a smart object. You have to rasterize it before you do that, which isn't that big of a deal, right? Because right now we can hit OK and it'll take out the smart filter, right? But then that's going to make it permanently into this blur, where in this case we can open this back up and redo this, which is what we're after, right? So this is kind of the choice you have to make with smart filters.